everyone. We decided to extend this to urinal public bathroom etiquette as well. Welcome back my volunteer Macy. 3 areas we'll be discussing today. Number 1, we're going to discuss the social aspect. Number 2, fundamentals. And number 3, forbidden and approved methods. So number 1, the neighbor. This isn't a time for a conversation. Like a real neighbor, as much as you may like them, when you're watering your yard, the last thing you really want to do is carry on a conversation with your hose in your hand. Number 2, we're going to refer to it as the cuddler. Even though there are 6 other options, they snuggle up and cuddle right next to you. The proper urinal etiquette is take one, skip one, take one, skip one. And then once that's not an option, then you're allowed to fill in the unoccupied gaps. Now let's talk about fundamentals. If you haven't seen my first video, you may want to catch up on that because we're not going to go through all the fundamentals that we did with the science aspect of it involved, so we're just going to assume you know. With that being said, a modified cowboy position is still a valid fundamental. Some people argue that this is not a good position for 2 reasons. Number 1, splatter. Number 2, the size of the equipment. Instead of using the bathroom urinal directly in front of you like a basketball backboard, let's take some physics and angle that stream to your lower left or lower right, eliminating the risk of splatter. So number 2 is a little more complicated because it deals with people's pride. This is when you stand too far away from the urinal. This is what we call going to McDonald's. You're creating golden arches. Go on up, get on up to the toilet, close that gap. The issue this creates is what we call the river of denial, thinking you have a 12 to 24 inch bridge to help close that gap. And this creates a free-flowing yellow river that everybody else has to avoid, making them modify their fundamentals, not being able to go to the cowboy position. And this leads to piss poor chaos. Obviously, I don't have a urinal at my house because I'm not a weirdo. We've fabricated one here for illustration purposes only. The forbidden methods. Now, keep in mind, all of these methods have been seen and used in public. So the first one is going to be the golden arches. From here to here, creating that golden arch. The hallelujah. Both hands off the pry, on the wall, feet way back. The moaner may be a social aspect of it, but you moan. Oh. Number 4, the farter. The bareback. That's where a grown man has his underwear and pants dropped around his ankles, exposing his whole bareback. There is not one reason this should ever happen. Ever. And last is, of course, the freestyle, the hands free. Hold the hose to make sure we're watering the right garden. Let's look at the approved methods. So if you are in a river of denial situation, we're going to use Jack the Reacher. Your feet will have to be positioned further back, but you're going to make sure you're not standing in the river of denial, and you're going to actually take the point of origin and reach over to the target area. And it's only needed when people do not follow the fundamental basics of urinal etiquette. The second one, close encounters of the third kind. Because we are in proper cowboy position, we are angled to the lower left or the lower right to eliminate splatter. But then upon completion or the retreat, we're going to go ahead and lock that monster up in Area 51 before we move backwards. We hope you take these techniques, put them to good use so we can all have a better bathroom experience. And if you like our videos, please make sure you share them or visit our YouTube page. Thank you.